let's just go straight to the business of infrastructure. The deficit story is all known. The roads are bad, but the government needs to find money and also needs to find the right partners to make sure these infrastructures are fixed. That's the big conversation. Edwin Devakumar, who is the group executive director in charge of strategy, portfolio investment and capital projects, a very large portfolio for a multi-billion-dollar company called Dangote Industries, is live here in the studios with us. Edwin, good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Let's start with the price of cement. Because that's, and I was bidding for 1,000. The price currently is about 2,005. What do you consider as the appropriate price for a bag of cement? And the most important question, hold on, is why?
Okay. I'll give you a very nice picture. We bagged our first bag of cement in December 2000. So today, 17 years after bagging my first bag of cement, I'm selling my cement today around 66% of the price at which I sold 17 years back. At 1,000 naira a bag, it will be equivalent to approximately 28% of the price at which I sold at the year 2000. So when will I be able to sell it to you at 1,000 naira? When channels will charge me advertisement rate, what you charge me 17 years, 28% of what you charge me to 17 years back, I'll be ready to give you my cement.
You're a businessman, and I know you do portfolio investments, so you know how to crunch the numbers and bring it home. So it's not very easy business for a country with very large infrastructure deficit. So talk to us, as you do business and travel around Nigeria, on the ground, and news coming back from your distributors, your drivers and others, when you sit down at strategy meetings with other directors and other managers, how difficult do you think this situation is, and what are your thinking within Dangote Industries?
See, when we talk about infrastructure, there are several issues: roads, railways, seaports, airports, power generation and distribution, potable water treatment and distribution. You can talk about sewage and solid waste collection and disposal. So there are several areas. Currently, our focus today, I think we are focusing on the roads. And the road infrastructure is undoubtedly crumbling. And I don't know how many of you travel by road all over Nigeria, which I do, and I know the situation is extremely bad. And it makes life very difficult for the people to travel. The railway infrastructure is very, very abysmally low, because if you see hardly 3,000 kilometers, and the operating railways, the rail operations is extremely low, even within those 3,000 kilometers. And if you talk about roads, we have hardly 200,000 kilometers of roads, out of which only 30,000 kilometers is surfaced. It is peanuts compared to what is there even in Far East Asia, in small countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Taiwan, Singapore. Leave aside big countries like China. So, and unfortunately for us, the infrastructure, whatever has been invested, has not been maintained. See what's happening in Apapa. The governor was so much frustrated, he said, okay, he's going to ban the movement of all the trailers coming inside Lagos, which is not possible because almost all our liquid fuel comes through Apapa. The two major ports, and Nigeria is an import-dependent country, are in Apapa. So you cannot ban, but it's very simple. If you have good road infrastructure, the traffic will flow. I remember in 2000, when we were still importing cement, between us and flour mills of Nigeria, we were loading just 400 trailers of cement every day from Apapa. There was absolutely no issues, apart from all the other cargoes which were going in. Today, in fact, if you see the port operations, it's much, much lower compared to what it was a few years back because of the economic situation. So, apart from all these cargo movements, 400 trailers a day, empty trailers coming in, load cement and go out, and there was no traffic jam, no major problems. If the roads are well maintained, this problem will just disappear. It only requires investments. But unfortunately for us, we have not been able to invest much. If you see a World Bank report which has come out recently, they say you have to do at least $15 billion every year investment for the next 10 years to catch up. And the McKinsey's report is exactly double. They say $30 billion a year for 10 years to catch up. And currently, we are investing about $6 billion a year.
So that's where Dangote Industries do come in terms of this investment partnership with the government. And the government perhaps thought the best way to do this. I'm sure you've done a few. The Obajano cement, where the first cement plant was a different arrangement in terms of you're allowed to go and do those very nasty crumbling road around there in Kogi State. But the Lagos Apapa is a bit of a different arrangement in terms of a tax credit. Explain this to us.
Well, actually, first of all, there is no arrangement as on date in Apapa or on Shoki Road. And it will be the same arrangement. And I'll explain to you the tax credit. In fact, we were amazed when we saw somebody claiming in the paper, information channels that we are getting 10-year tax credit. When it came to Itori Road, the 24 kilometers road, we did it. Today's cost of that road is 8.8 billion, which we did 100% free as part of our CSR. The Obajana Kaba Road is 44 kilometers. Today's cost is 16 billion. What we told the government is, okay, we will charge you 6.9 billion. And the rest of it is as our CSR. And the payments, which is what the government has been discussing on Apapa Road too. What we said was, okay, you don't have the money to pay. Today, one of the reasons why the road infrastructure is crumbling is if you go to the contractors, first of all, any small road you see, you take Lagos to Abeokuta Road, which took several years for Julius Berger to complete, or the Abuja-Lokoja Road, or the Benin or a road. All these roads took several years because the contractors stopped the work halfway through because they don't get the money. The contract sums are extremely high because they are not sure when they'll get the money. So what we said is, okay, you don't have the money. Okay, we will invest and we will build it. Our prices will be minimum 15 to 20% cheaper than any bids you can get. You go for the bids, we will take it at a far cheaper price, at least minimum 15% lower than the lowest bid. And we do not want you to pay upfront mobilization. We do not want you to pay our running bills. We will offset it against our future taxes. We will offset it in 3 years' time over the taxes. This is how we built even the gas pipeline infrastructure. We built 40 kilometers in Ogun State. We built Kogi State 90 kilometers of gas pipeline. All we said, okay, we'll build up front, offset it against the gas which is coming in. Now we say future taxes. You can imagine, apart from the fact that I'm going to take it 15 to 20% lower than the open bids they have, first of all, I don't have mobilization, I don't have running bills payment. And I'm going to collect it 3 years down the line. Take today's interest rate. If you take the bank interest plus the charges, financial charges, it's running between 21 to 24%. 3 years interest loss, that is number one. Number two, take the foreign exchange. If you take the history past 30 years, the Naira has depreciated 100 times. You take 37 years, it has gone almost 700 times down. So 3 years down the line, I do not know what will be the Naira value, maybe half of what I'm going to pay today. So the exchange rate risk alone is going to be double, another 24% interest every year. All of that I'm losing, all because we are trying to do it as a CSR, as our contribution to the country where we have invested so much. Really, we are not looking at it as a commercial business. So we were amazed. Somebody said, 10 years tax credit. We as a group, it's an open challenge. From the time this group started, we have not got a single tax benefit, no tax concession, no tax waivers. Whatever we have availed is what is available in the Constitution, in the laws, for all the people in the business. So what I get, every one of my competitors gets.
You're in charge of strategy and portfolio investment, so I'm sure you see the books and you're part of all the arrangement. And you said there's no arrangement yet.
Yeah. No, we have proposed, and if the government is interested in taking it up, definitely we'll go and do it. As I said, it will be far cheaper than they can go for open bid. It will be lower than anybody who has bidded, and no down payment, no running bills, offset against future taxes.
Now, who and who should be, or do you think should be in this deal with you if the government approves it? And that means, meantime, no work, all the work being done on the Apapa Road at the moment, your Dangote industry is not yet involved?
No. We are doing another section of the road. What we are talking about is the 35 kilometers up to Overenshoki. But right in Apapa, we are doing the road along with flour mills of Nigeria and some of the, we are doing the bulk of the money, but flour mills of Nigeria is there. Some of the other people are also contributing. We are doing it free of cost. Because today, as I said, the country is getting crippled. It's an import-dependent economy, and two major ports, Apapa and Tin Can, are there. The entire fuel, gasoline, diesel, aviation jet for the country comes through that place. And if the road is crippled, the country will get crippled, the economy will get crippled. So as a CSR, we have all decided, let's go and do something free of cost. This is absolutely free of cost.